Hello, and another very warm welcome to another Tuesdays at 2, when I come on and talk about something related to executive career management or career management generally. Each week at 2 o'clock 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I talk about a different topic. So today's topic is: does becoming an entrepreneur inhibit you from returning to corporate? Does becoming an entrepreneur, and many people do it, inhibit you from returning to corporate life? So this is a very interesting question. There are many, many avenues here. So depending on where you are in the world and depending on that person's mindset, whether they accept entrepreneurship or whether they only accept corporate life, depends a lot on the person that is assessing you if you decide to go back into corporate life. So there's many different mixed impressions that going from corporate into entrepreneur, going back into corporate, going back into entrepreneur, and going back into corporate. You can do it, but it can be tough. And it's also very, very geographically minded. Where I am here in Canada, it's quite acceptable to do that at least once, far more than other countries. And the further east you go across the world, the less inclined they are to re-employ you if you go back from being an entrepreneur back into the corporate life. But here in Canada, it's not frowned upon, but it's a lot easier to do that juggling between the two, maybe one or two or even three times. So it depends, but I applaud people who do it because there's a lot of guts. It's a lot of a lot of risk. You have to take risk when you become an entrepreneur, and then you have to work all hours. It's not just a 9 to 5 or a 10-hour day. It can be a lot longer than that. So being an entrepreneur is can be a tough life, but it can also, I can tell you from my own personal opinion, is a very rewarding and very exciting. I love what I do. I actually tell my clients I have the best job in the world, but I can help you get the second best job in the world because I really enjoy it. I love what I do day in, day out. And the hours just slip by, and I'm global. So I'm normally in my office at 5 a.m. and work all the way through to 8 p.m. each workday. But I'm an entrepreneur. I could go back into corporate, but I have no inclination. But many people do. They just want to try it out, or for some reason it doesn't work out because there's the risk and there's also the financial aspects to it. But I do admire you if you have that on your agenda to be an entrepreneur. So it much depends on geography. In Europe, and the further eastern Europe you go, and then the further east beyond Europe, the less inclined they are to re-engage you into the corporate life if you've taken that step from being an entrepreneur. But it is possible. Nothing's impossible in career management. And with today's huge talent shortage, it's easier to get back into the corporate life. Now, if anybody's got any comments, please put them in the comments below, or anything on your mind, or you want to ask any questions. Doesn't have to be related to today's topic. Anything to do with career management, personal branding, resume writing, executive recruiters, LinkedIn. I'm more than happy to attempt to answer it as we go through this Tuesdays at 2. So it's not impossible. Nothing is impossible. But if you do take a step out of corporate, bearing in mind that you are going to be fighting in a race, just like you are in an ordinary job search race. But you're going to be have to have an extraordinary marketing campaign to tell a very compelling story on exactly who you are, the value, and what you can bring ABC company or XYZ. So the longer you take out of corporate life, the tougher it's going to be. It's going to be harder to get back into the corporate life if it's been a 10 or 15-year tenure as an entrepreneur. Whereas if it's only 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, it's a lot easier. But don't take me for this. You can do it, but you have to have the drive and the ambition to get back in there, and you can. But never ever, even when you're an entrepreneur, you're running your own business, what is the best thing to get your business up to scalable heights, to top heights, is networking. So network for your business, network for your career as well, just in case. Have it as a backpack, something to support you just in case things go wrong and it's not for you. So anybody, please feel free with any comments. So the longer you take out, the harder it's going to be. Be prepared if you are going back into corporate. You've got to have a good reason why you left initially, why you left, and then why you are returning. So put on a rosy message, a very compelling message on both the why you left and why you are considering or actually returning to a corporate job. So it's going to be tough because you, as I said, you are fighting with the people who are already in the corporate life, but it's not impossible. So have a good reason for leaving, have a good reason for going back into the corporate life. It's not a negative to transition between the two, or even do it twice, or I've seen people do it 3 times. So 3 times corporate life, three times entrepreneur. You can do it, and it is feasible, but it can be very tough. But it's not against everything. You can do it. So it's harder to return after you, the more times you do it and a lengthy period, than it is if it's a short period and maybe your first time and it didn't work out, or for some other reason. It's a tough time as being an entrepreneur, and you might not realize it. Do all your due diligence, just like you are on a job search. It's all part of your career. Do your due diligence before you even make that step to leave the corporate life. So you are competing with the people, the professionals who are already in that function or in that industry if you are returning to corporate life. This is the crucial one. If you are returning to corporate life, ensure that your resume, your CV, and your LinkedIn profile are stellar. Make sure that they stand out from the rest and tell a compelling story about your journey as an entrepreneur. Don't be shy. There's nothing wrong in going into an entrepreneur journey, but you have to make it shine, because the people who are already in there, who are you are competing with, will probably have a very stellar, a very shining background. So that's it for this week. Anybody got any comments, any questions that's on their mind? I'm more than happy to answer anything to do with career management. It's a really, really good hiring economy, recruitment across the world, all functions, all levels, all industries. So I've never seen it as robust hiring, recruitment, whatever you want to call it, as it is right now. But remember that the bulk of the jobs aren't on job boards, aren't through executive recruiters. They are hidden. And what is the message I want to relay to you? You need to network, 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 whether you're in corporate and whether you're an entrepreneur. I've never given up networking. I'm a fierce networker myself. It's very, very important. And we have tools now like LinkedIn, which are vital in your career management and can be vital to you as an entrepreneur. I know many entrepreneurs who have a fantastic LinkedIn profile and make a lot of money just simply from being on LinkedIn, Facebook, and other social media platforms. So make sure you stand out above the competition. I'll wrap this up today with I'm more than happy to give anybody a free, no obligation, no sales pitch resume critique. There is my email below, martin@aneliteresume.com, or I'm more than happy to give you a free LinkedIn audit. I will go through it from top to bottom and tell you where you need to perhaps make some changes or develop it and push it up, give better impact, because it's all psychological. Plus, you can fill a LinkedIn profile which is pageless, whereas a resume CV is a maximum of 3 pages. And then for a lot more details about general executive career management, please go to my YouTube channel where you can subscribe to. Please subscribe. There is a wealth. There's over 500 now, 500 videos on different parts, different components, different topics relating to career management. And I bet you will find one that's really useful to you. But please do me a favor and subscribe and press that bell button where you will be notified of all future videos to come. There's another one being released tomorrow. Every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, a new one is released. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm here for anybody who wants to talk about executive career management, how to manage their careers, resume writing, and the like. But so I will be back next week, Tuesdays at 2, when our topic will be halfway through 2023. What functions are hiring hot? Halfway through 2023, what functions are hiring hot? So if you want to find out what functions are hiring hot anywhere in the world, please tune in to Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will talk about that topic and I will answer your questions. Anybody's got any comments, any questions, more than happy to answer them. I will see you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern for another Tuesdays at 2, episode number 132 next week. Have a great week.